At the start of this year's free agency, the Golden State Warriors lost a couple of guard and kind of wing prototype players. They lost Otto Porter, Juan Toscano-Anderson, and they even lost Gary Payton II. While Poole might not be playing for the Warriors after this upcoming season because many expect him to leave and go chase the bag elsewhere, Poole could be in store for a more adjusted role in this team's rotation that I think will pretty much have him as the most underrated player this season. The Warriors also signed Bucks first-round pick Donte DiVincenzo, who plays primarily shooting guard, but he's probably going to see a more small forward role with Moses Moody. Before we get into this video talking about how Jordan Poole will be the most underrated player in the league this year, I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs before the end of the year, so please hit that subscribe button if you find yourself enjoying the video. And without further ado, let's get into it. The most notable conversation about who won't be returning to the Golden State Warriors primarily centers around Gary Payton II. GP2 played an important role in 2022 in the NBA Finals, mainly as a crucial defender on that Finals team, and he signed a 3-year deal with the Portland Trail Blazers. On top of losing Gary Payton II, they also lost Otto Porter Jr., who signed with the Raptors, so they lost 2 of their Finals rotation pieces this offseason. Now, the talent for the Dubs is still there, and it's been there for the last couple years, and they pretty much stacked up on the younger guys that they have who are actually now ready to become something better. A lot's been said about Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and those guys stepping up this year and coming into their own. Personally, I love Jonathan Kuminga and think he can, and I also love Moses Moody, who I think will be a vital scorer. With both players capable of playing key 3 and D roles, the Dubs will have their choice on who they want to play there. On top of that, they added Donte DiVincenzo, like I said before. Poole was primarily a shooting guard last season, and he's expected to come off the bench again this year. He should see the bulk of minutes at the point guard spot when he does come off the bench. Poole played just 33% of his minutes as the main facilitator. He spent over 60% of his minutes as the 2. For the sake of the long-term future for him, getting the minutes at the 1 would go well for him, especially with his future after leaving the Warriors. Currently, the only other point guard behind Stephen Curry would be Mac McClung, and if Mac McClung doesn't crack the roster, Quinndary Weatherspoon could be an option to make this final roster. Nonetheless, it'll be on Jordan Poole to step up on both ends of the court and drastically improve his playmaking for others for this team to reach another level. Steve Kerr has talked about himself how Jordan Poole could become an amazing vital player for this team. He just needs to get better on the defensive end of the ball. Now, we already know what he can do scoring wise, and playmaking, he's shown flashes here and there, so I believe his playmaking this year, it'll come to fruition and we'll see that. The big key is his defensive prowess. Last year, Jordan Poole averaged 18.5 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds in 76 games, and of course, he won his first NBA ring last year. Last year, Jordan Poole had the best defensive rating of his career with the 109. The previous 2 years, he had a 113 and 116 respectively. Now, 109 isn't too bad considering who Jordan Poole is and the fact that he's really not known as a defender. 109 isn't as bad as I would assume that it would be without looking up this stat. With Poole playing with the second unit, I expect him to blow away any and all expectations set for him this coming season. He's going to be a guy that is looking to move on and pretty much not lead a team, but be a point guard on a contending team, and I think his role on this second unit will actually show teams that they can put their faith in him to lead their team. Now, normally when you hear a guy leading the second unit, you don't always think of a guy that's prominent and will be able to be a starter for the next team, but with Jordan Poole in this case, he does have the greatest shooter ever on his team, so there's no way you could start him over that. He does have Klay Thompson at the 2, no way you could start him over that 3-and-D monster, and at the small forward, he would just be too undersized. So it makes sense to have Jordan Poole where you have him, and then when he leaves next year, he's going to be a starter for whichever team he goes to, whichever team he plays for, and he's gonna thrive. But if we see what we saw at the end of last season, and if that was any projection of what we're gonna get this year, Poole will be primed to blow away any expectations that are set from him. He's gonna become the 3rd Splash Brother, and it's gonna be a Poole party all year. That's all I got for you guys in this video. Let me know what you guys think regarding Jordan Poole. Like I said, I think he's gonna be the biggest X factor with regards to the Warriors this year. He's gonna be the most underrated player in the league. Despite him being a 6-man, people are gonna forget about him. He's gonna go under the radar, but I still expect him to blow expectations away, blow people out the water, and the Warriors might just go for back-to-back. Who knows? But until next time, it is your boy TB with the greatest hoop stories and debates on the tube, and I'm out. Peace.